Hi guys, today I wanted to play a little bit of affinity, so I just took one random list from Luffy. This one is it's pretty strange because it's playing Torch the Tower, Kenku, and also one basic mountain. In this list, it's like there is not the basic mountain because I changed it with a bridge, but in the games in the video you will see the mountain that I personally hate. And yeah, I usually don't play much affinity because I prefer I usually consider like Jand the better affinity, but it's a pretty fun deck, so I want to play a couple of games. So let's see how it does. So, the first game we are up against Tron. We see a boulder, and we hope that it's not Monster Tron, because Monster Tron it's a pretty bad matchup. Uh, that's why I don't think it's great to play Affinity in this meta, in particular now, because it's full of Monster Tron. But we'll see. It plays a snow-covered island, so we know it's not Monster Tron, probably, and it's more likely to be Flickertron. So we are much happier. We start with a Refurbished Familiar, of course. It discards an Ardent Elementalist, so like, we know it is Flicker, but it's probably like a strange list. So I don't know what to expect. He plays a map, we attack, and we try to put as much pressure as possible on the field. So we go Utrom Mirror. He has the third Tron piece in hand, so he doesn't have to crack the map. But he has only two cards in hand, so if one of those isn't a draw spell, we are pretty happy. So another boulder, that's not a draw spell, so we are fine. He could now use one boulder to kill the mirror, which is probably what he's going to do. Here he probably makes a mistake and lets us untap before killing the mirror. So now, if he tries to kill the mirror, we can just draw on top of it. So yeah, that's I think it was a small mistake. And we'll draw more land. So that's affinity. We know it floats a lot, and yeah, our end is pretty bad, especially against Flickertron because Touch the Tower does nothing, and the camera usually does nothing either. So we aren't in a great spot, but still, he only has two cards in hand, so we can still try to do something. It goes impulse, yeah. Here I will probably surveillance cam in the end step, so next turn I can play a tap land and still draw. In his turn with the surveillance cam if I draw nothing. That's also because usually there are like no creatures that you would want to tap with the camera, so it's pretty fine to just cycle it. We draw another land, so yeah, now we can go Tapland and crack the surveillance cam. I could do it now, in or like hoping to draw a mirror, but I decided to to remain open because maybe he's gonna play another elementalist, ephemerate, flicker. I don't know the list, so I prefer to remain open. And I'm rewarded because he does play Ent, which I did not expect in Fligertron. He does, so now I can crack the surveillance and tap the Ent. We draw pretty bad cards like the Karkan, Otherland, Galvanic Blast. Not what we want to see. He goes Moment's Peace, so we do no damage. we just play a random Karkan, we play a land and pass. He plays a land and passes. So here I draw another land, and I can decide if I want to torch and blast to kill the ant, or if I want to Karkan and torch to kill the ant. Uh, I I decided not to do that uh, because I would like to keep the Galvanic Blast to kill him. But I don't know if that's a correct play. Um, because yeah, maybe Karkan for 4 and Torch the Tower to kill immediately the end and push this 5 damage was the better play. Maybe. I'm not sure because it was a play that lost to a Flicker, but he only had one card in hand, so I'm not sure. I decided against it. Now I withdraw Kenku, which is okay. Kenku enters, I'm an indestructible, and here I decide to attack just with the indestructible land, so I can then do 4 damage. I go for Galvanic, which it's probably not gonna work because of a flicker or because of a prohibit. Okay, so that's countered. I go to the end step, so the colorless mana, like you lose the colorless mana, and then I'll Krark-Clan Shaman to kill him. Goes Truth. Unfortunately, he started drawing cards, so now we're in a pretty bad spot because he still has the moment piece in the graveyard, and he's up to 4 cards. With also Bonder Ornament, he can draw more. So we are not in a great position. I draw Krark-Clan, which is pretty useless, so great. He goes for the moment piece in the graveyard. Another Truth. So yeah, I still don't know how his deck is made, like what cards I need, because it's a pretty strange version of Flickerton. But I'm feeling pretty dead here, unless he drew like only rocks that fix mana and lands, but still he draws a card with ornament. He plays a refractor. I draw a card. I draw a Toxin Analysis, which is also useless. So here he goes mystical teachings, and then to grab a moment's piece, place the piece, and now he can he still has teachings for the next turn. Here I decide to cycle a toxin, so maybe I could hit a Myr, a Utrom, a refurbished, a creature that I can play immediately, and I do not. I hit another Karkan. He plays another ornament. He plays a boulder. Plays a prism. And still passes. Okay, we draw another completely useless card. So that's great. We're gonna attack with everything. He's gonna go one piece as expected. He still only has 3 cards in hand, so maybe they're all ends. But of course, with ornament, it doesn't matter. He's still gonna draw a lot of cards. Next turn, maybe doesn't have a fog anymore, so we could try to do some damage. Here we draw a Ichor, plate, Thoughtcast. Okay. The Galvanic Blast is nice, the Blood Fountain is okay, at least we can cycle a Torch or a Karkan that do nothing. He's gonna Teachings from the graveyard, of course. He's gonna grab another Teachings that will let him grab. He could grab a Weathered Storm for a lot of life, or simply another piece. Yeah, here I play my Blood Fountain, which will let me get back maybe a Kenku and something else, but nothing crazy. Um, he goes Flicker, draws 2 cards. He plays another Ant, so now I know that he's not playing only one Ant. So, okay, that's something I have to remember. Okay, another. I really like drawing another Galvanic Blast, and here, of course, I'll try to damage the Ant. Here I also sacrifice the Blood Fountain as is like I do not care anymore about the creatures. What I care is doing direct damage, for example, with Galvanic and Makeshift Munitions. So I will put 4 damage on the stack, so I can then torch the tower to kill it, and and of course if he has Flicker, I will have to put even more damage on top of the dead of the tent, but still. So now here that I cannot kill him, now that I cannot kill him with the Galvanic Blast, is gonna flicker it. And here I can decide if I want to torch, like double torch or something, but I decide not to. Just flicker, let the damage resolve. I draw double land, but now at least I can I can try and kill it. Ooh, I draw the 4th Galvanic Blast, so that's great. That's great. Let's hope. Let's hope for me to win this game. I try to simply double kill it to push as much damage as possible and to force him to use the moment piece in the graveyard. Because if he used a counter, for example, a prohibit on a torch tower, I would have been pretty happy because all of my Galvanic Blast. Okay, he untaps, plays another end. So it's probably the plan for this strange Tron version. So yeah, here I just attack with everything. Is probably going to moment pits, And if he doesn't, he could be dead. He has seen most of his deck, only 15 cards remaining, but he has yet to play Weather the Storm. So maybe he's only playing it in the side, or maybe he's pretty unlucky and just hasn't drawn it. In either cases, I just try to kill him now. I just play Galvanic and a Blast and see how he reacts. Okay, he counters it. That's totally fine. I'm gonna refurbish because maybe in response to the refurbished, he's gonna draw with ornament, and so I can kill him, try to kill him on top of the ornament draw. Uh, Here I should have played the bridge, but I didn't. I go to end step, so he's gonna play maybe some draw spell, and in response I could try to kill it. Also because he probably does not expect all 4 Galvanic Blast. But yeah, so he plays Teachings, so maybe to grab a Weather the Storm, but I try to kill him in response. Draws with Ornament. Yeah, draws again. He has only 1 mana open and dies. Here, like, I don't know, if it was a normal Tron version, I probably would have been dead by like a lot before. Um, but yeah, and the 4 Galvanic Blast helped the fact that I drew so badly at the start. Now, because he plays End, 3 or probably 4 End, I'm gonna play Extrata Confession, and of course all the Blue Blast. I remove the useless cards, and we are ready. This end, it's pretty good. I just need the blue mana. Here, I just try to put as much pressure as possible. He discards a crop rotation. I'm open with red elemental blast, even though he's not probably going to use a blue spell because like usually it's like flicker, prohibit, and that's it because truth is colorless, so you cannot blast it. He's going to crop rotation. Now he has Tron. He could destroy my land with the boulder, which would be pretty annoying, but he decides against it. He just plays an ant, which is also pretty annoying because I yet to I have to see the Extrata Confession or a Cam to bypass it. Here I'll draw a card. I hit my land, even though it's not a blue one, so we're still missing that. He starts to attack, so that's pretty strange, but yeah, he attacks. Here I start attacking. I will probably use the blood to try and hit the land drop, or maybe to hit a draw spell. I'll play the Refurbished Familiar first because maybe he uses a prohibit on that. So I could use one of my 2 blasts, and if he does, so here I have a great play to counter prohibit with Familiar, discard his last card, put him on top deck. Now I just have to find like a blue land and a bargain or something like that. Here I draw another furnace that's not really what I wanted, but still he also draws a land, so it's fine. He keeps attacking me, so here I take so I can do 4 damage to the next turn, and then maybe kill him in a couple of turns with all these Galvanic Blast. Here I keep drawing nothing, and I have the choice to kill the ant or keep them to throw them at his head. I decide to kill the ant because he's at 17 and he will probably kill him before I can, but I'm not sure if that's the correct play. But by killing the ant now, I can do 4 damage every turn for the rest of the game. So I mean, it's totally fine. Yeah, and I'm immediately punished by that choice because I draw confession. So yeah, I should have I should have kept them apparently. But I mean, it's there for another end, which arrives, so it's fine. You still gain 3 life every time, so my clock is still far away, and the problem is that I don't have like the blue mana, so there are a lot of draws that I cannot straight up I cannot cast. So let's hope to find it and to find a bargain. But still, he has 0 cards in hand. I have a red elemental blast, so I'm still fine, I would say. Now let's see what he drew. He plays at teachings, which I decide to counter with a blast because this teachings is for sure gonna get a truth, and I cannot counter truth because it's colorless. So at least I make him use his whole turn to get the draw spell, and let's hope to draw something good next turn. Here, I I was thinking to if I should crack the Spellbomb to try and be more aggressive to put as much pressure on board, and I decided to do that. I'm not sure if that's correct because I could have kept the Spellbomb to like to exile a moment piece. So I don't know, but I think it was fine to try and be as aggressive as possible and try to draw something that could do damage. I drew the blue land like on turn 9, so better late than never, I guess. Now I would need some draw spell. Here's an Ichor, but firstly I just attack. Yeah, here it destroys a rat, which is great for me because then I can just Blood Fountain it, Blood Fountain it and the Utrom back and play both of them. He could have protection, but I think he already played it a couple at the start of the game, so I don't think I should play around it, and he doesn't have it, so I'll just play all my hand again. He's at 9, so now he has to see a fog, and we are in a similar spot to the first game where we have the bird. Every turn we threaten lethal, and he has to do something about it. Yeah, he plays teachings for a fog, or maybe for a weather the storm. No, for another truth. Okay, so he probably has the fog in hand. Yeah. Here it draws 3 cards. So here, like, if I had kept that spellbomb from a lot of turns before, I could have used it on the moment piece, but yeah, I don't know. Still, he has 5 cards in hand. This time he's probably gonna see the weather. He could play another Ant. So we are not in a great spot again. He goes for teachings on the graveyard. Another truth. And weather. I draw a random Myr, so not really useful. He plays the fog from the graveyard, of course. Plays a truth. And here, like, he has to close me somehow. He probably has, like, here I was thinking he had a torch or a rolling thunder, and he does, because now he's going to pay a lot of mana and just kill me. Yeah, plays a big rolling thunder and kills me. Here I was just thinking if there was space for an Hydroblast, so because he only had 8 minutes on the clock, so if I can counter his only uh, like his only source of big damage, I could like simply win. But probably if I go to that part of the game where he can cast a big rolling thunder, he also has the mana to protect it with some blast or prohibit. So at the end, I decide to submit again the deck and just try be as fast as possible. Here, it's not really the end that I wanted because I wanted a more aggressive one, but of course I cannot afford to mulligan this one. There is still a lot of value, a lot of cards that I can draw that would make it much faster. So let's see. Here I play a Ichor that draws me the land drop. Nice. Now next turn I can draw a lot of cards, hopefully draw a lot of creatures, and then flood the board and kill him. Now here I draw a mirror, so the problem is getting the land drop. I hit a land drop. I could pay 2 mana for the mirror, uh, but I decide I decide against it. That's because I would rather use Reckoners Bargaining in the end phase, draw more cards, especially more creatures, and do next turn a big turn in which I flood the board with hopefully the extra creatures that I find with Bargain, and maybe being able to play the mirror for free. So I draw a land and a refurbish, which are great, exactly what I wanted. Here I draw more cards, I draw more creatures, so I'm really happy about it. Also because my opponent has not finished assembling Tron yet, so he's still stumbling, and it's not it's like 2-5, so it's not early game, but this is still a great pressure. And here I win. He doesn't close the throne, so I just Galvanic Blast. Here I want to use this one, but it doesn't matter. I still win. Confession, attack, Galvanic Face, and he's dead. Okay, so here I keep this hand, which is pretty great, and I'm against another throne. This time it will be a monster throne, so not a great matchup, but let's see. Let's see if we can win it. Here, of course, I'll just play the familiar first, so I can start applying damage. Discards a power plant. Is probably going to finish turn next turn. 7 mana. An Hydra. Okay, so now you know that it's the Zio Francone list that's more low to the ground with Chrysalis, with Hydras and stuff, without the spaceship. And, and it's a version that I think I prefer to face with Affinity, as the spaceship is really annoying, while with this version a Krark-Clan and Toxin would probably clear all the board. Here I I don't draw much, so yeah, I'll cycle the Spellbomb in end. Okay, those are nice cards. I have to think how I want to organize the turn. First, I'll play familiar, see what he discards, and make him discard with less information. He discards an Hydra, so I know that the other card in hand is really good to discard Hydra. So I deal 2 damage, and here I'm deciding if I want to go Ichor, Utrom, or something like that, or maybe go Thoughtcast Utrom, or just remain open with Bargain. What I do is I assume he's going to barrel in the end phase, because he left all this mana open and doesn't have truths, or he would have used it in response to the familiar discard. So he doesn't have truths, and he's gonna use that mana to kill the Utrom. So I decide to remain open to draw some cards with the bargain and gain some life. He top decks the truths, which which it's really annoying. Yeah, pretty bad. He deals 6 damage to me, but I can deal 4 back, so as long as he doesn't, like maybe, like if he doesn't have, for example, a worm, I could be fine. Here maybe I'll draw a Kenku so I can take it immediately attack. I do not, so just Ichor. I would like to see more creatures, of course, or a Toxin, to go Kark and Toxin. I do not. Here, because I have all this tapland, I decided to play a tapland and the Karkan. If he wants to spend all his turn using the boulder on a Karkan, it's fine by me. He drew another truth, which I'm not happy about. Now it's still gonna try and push some damage. Close this game out. Now with all this mana, he could play another Hydra, for example, but Rumble is fine. Rumble, let's see what he takes. He's probably gonna take an Hydra. He takes the Hydra, so next turn I have to watch out for that, or I would be dead. Another Galvanic Blast is really good. It's exactly what I want. I would like more direct damage as much as possible. So here I just attack with everything. It doesn't block my Krark-Clan, which I'm pretty happy about it. Now, of course, I'm gonna play all my Ichor as he's going to bestow the Hydra, and in response, I will Krark-Clan. I drew another Galvanic Blast, but I do not have the mana. So now let's see uh, uh, what he does, because of course, if he's spending all his mana on the Hydra, I'll just rat Cartman with seven artifacts and kill him next turn. But if he splits Hydra and Worm and other life gain, I may be I may be out of lethal. So let's see. So yeah, here he only plays an Hydra for 7, which I still have to kill it, to rat everything, of course. But he left some mana open, so I assume he's going to play a Worm or a Percher. So I have to play around that. Now I have to choose what because I have to remove 7 artifacts. I have to choose what I want to remove, and here um, I decided to remove the 2 familiars. That's because, like I said, it's still like he has an Hydra to block, and with the extra mana, he's probably going to play something that gains life, like a Percher, like a Bramblewood, and both of those cards are cards with flying or reach, so the familiars will do no damage. And because I have drawn the munitions, having extra mana is much more important. Now, of course, he plays the worm like I expected, and here I MTGO just crashes a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I go double Galvanic Blast, he gains 5, and here we have perfect critical with the munitions, Galvanic, because we didn't sacrifice any more lands. Here I just have to make sure to use the Galvanic before I use the munition, or I wouldn't have enough artifacts for Metalcraft. So I remember to do that, and I just kill him. Yeah, now for the side, I just put in some extra removal. I'm not really sure what to remove next. I'll just remove another Spellbomb. It is an extra artifact for Krark-Clan, but I don't know. I don't think it's that great. We keep this end, which is fine. It just needs more lands, so we'll see. Because Pylon, Surveil. I draw Fountain, but still prefer to play the familiar to keep applying even more pressure, of course. I'll play familiar Thoughtcast and not Furnace Thoughtcast because if I draw a tap land, I want to play it. I do not. So next turn he will have Assemble Tron, and so let's see what big creatures he plays. Just Ornament, Boulder. Okay, just discards. I draw a land, which is nice. I can deal him 4 damage. First draw with Ichor. I draw a Thoughtcast, but I prefer to put pressure. He could destroy my blue mana with the Boulder next turn, but again, it's his whole turn, and then I just draw on the Ichor with the Bargain, so there is no problem with that. Plays a Rumble, takes an Expedition map, and casts a Worm. Okay. Now let's draw to hopefully find an extract, a confession. Let's see, we didn't. So now we have to decide if you want how we want to kill that worm. First, of course, I'll draw even more. Maybe we can find it now. We do not, but we found a pretty great solution, which is Torch the Tower, because now we can just attack with Utrom, and if he does block it, we'll just kill it and exile it with Torch the Tower. Otherwise, we would have dealt him just like 3 damage for free. And next turn, we can go for Krark-Clan Toxin, for example. Yeah, of course, he blocks. And then I kill it with Torch the Tower, also exiling it. With all the action that I have in hand, I keep the land, of course. I play another Myr, and let's see what he plays now. He plays a Chrysalis, which it's not that that scary because we have Cartman for the spawns. A Rumble, a Rumble that takes Urza's Mine, so no problem with that. Now, we cannot go Karkan Toxin because it will kill our Enforcer, of course. So, what we can do is just go Karkan with the objective of killing all the spawns and letting the Enforcer passage. So, yeah, 1 damage. He's going to sack all his spawn one by one. Okay, after he sacked the last one, here I'm thinking if I want to do 3 damage, so then my Galvanic heals it, and yeah, I think it's the best play to just deal 3 damage, all my Myr survives, Derek Chrysalis dies thanks to my Galvanic, so pretty great. Here I'm thinking if I want to sack the fountain or a land. I decided to sack a land. I'm still going to draw 2 cards, so I think it's fine. Yeah, I draw more lands, like Affinity does. Then 3 damage, kill it, and then deal a lot of damage. He plays uh, he plays another worm. You simply attack with everything and kill him with the Galvanic Blast. If we didn't have that blast, we could have just attacked with the familiar, give it death touch, and kill it. Okay, so here we are. Another game. This time we are against Raldi. With Mulligan the first time. We keep another. We keep this one, which is pretty nice. He's going to start first, so that's pretty scary. Let's see how he starts. Mountain Pass. Okay, Mountain Pass. So I think it's just. I think now that it's just Mono Red Madness, but then he does the the crazy start of rally. But only with one rally, only one burning tree. So it's still doable because now what we can do is just play familiar that will trade with the burning tree emissary, and I mean let's see what his next turn will be, because they can be really explosive or pretty bad, and it does a pretty bad turn. So I'm really happy. Uses an impulse, exiles to land, which I'm even more happy. Now here I draw a Krark-Clan. First, like before playing the Krark-Clan, I use a familiar and like to make him discard a card without many information. He discards land, of course. I draw, and here I decide to draw like to play another familiar, because if he plays a bushwhacker, I can still block and not die. But by not playing the Karkar, maybe he does play all the creature that he still has in hand, and I can punish him harder. Here I think how I want to block, if I want to block at all. Um, in hand he will probably have like a bolt, for example, or a galvanic, because he did not play a creature. So I decided to block one of those three, to block the bushwhacker, because it is discarded before a goblin grenade. So I want to remove the goblin. I still take 4. I go to 10. Here's the axe. So I take 2 more damage, which I do not like. Even though it doesn't have Galvanic Blast active, I still I'm not as safe. Um, Now, of course, I'm going to play the Krark-Clan. I decided to play the Ichor and not the Utrom, because I'm gonna Vrat with the Krark-Clan next turn. So, of course, he attacks. I'm gonna Vrat and draw a card. He's in top deck mode, so let's see if he draws good cards. He does not play anything, so I assume it's a Bolt or a Galvanic. So now my objective is finding Reckoner's Bargain like, as fast as possible, or a Toxin Analysis. I draw pretty irrelevant cards. I decide to not attack with the familiar to defend against a double rally the peasants, like a rally and bushwhacker. I draw a Myr, which is nice, but it's not a bargain, so I'm still pretty anxious. Here I could use the blood, but I decided to discard a card and put as much pressure as I can. So I could end this game as fast as possible. So oof, he discards a Goblin Grenade. So in end he probably has another Bolt or a Galvanic Blast. He has a Bolt. So now I'm pretty safe. The only way that I will die is if he top decks Impulse that flips into double Bolt. But yeah, here I draw a card, and to see if it's a Bolt, he will have to play it. and it is a Galvanic for 2, so he really drew bolt, 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 so now I'm pretty scared, and I'm thinking if I want Torch the Tower, my Myr, with Bargain, so I can scry and draw one card by by sacrificing the Wellspring, but first I decide to draw with the Blood, and by drawing a Thoughtcast, I decide against playing Torch the Tower on my creature. I should have done it in main phase 1, so I could have drawn Toxin Analysis, but I didn't. Now here I'm thinking if I want to like suck Ichor, draw a card, and then scry one, but I think it's better to just cycle the Spellbomb. Still no healing whatsoever, so I'll just play all my creatures and hope he doesn't top deck another form of direct damage, and he doesn't. So after side we have a lot to put in. I'm I remove some of the slower cards. I decide to keep. I like to keep a number of Blood Fountain in this matchup because you want to be able to Karkan for 2 mana in the first 2 to 3 turns of the game. So having Blood Fountain that will let you have 2 artifacts for the cost of 1, it's just great. Then I remove some blast because I have the blue blast, which are better removal, and here I I messed up in the recording, but the game was simply turn 2, it did this to me, it did so much damage, so I played the Karkan, he attacks again, and I take again. Because of course, if I had to Karkan, like I would have to sacrifice all my land and I would have still lost. So I took 2 hits from this board, and now it's his turn. After the second combat, and I have this Karkan, he just decided to pass. So now I can build my board, and I have more artifacts that I want to sacrifice. So he will discard 2 cards. Next turn I will attack and I will 100% use Karkan. He did not have an effect to exile one of my land the turn before, so I assume he doesn't have it now. So I decide to remove one land and one familiar. If I wanted to play around casting to fire, for example, I would have exiled like both my familiar, but I think it's better like this. It goes smash to smithereens, okay? And now here I just play my Ichor, opt to draw land. I do not draw land, so that's pretty unfortunate. It goes Impulse into double land, which is great for me, really great. It still plays a bolt, so I'm still almost dead. With this one, I'm much safer. So, of course, I'll play the familiar because I want to remain open with blue mana, hoping to draw land. I do not draw land, so that's pretty unfortunate, but at least I can counter whatever he draws. He plays a land and passes, still one card in hand. Here I could, for example, bargain to draw more cards against life or Thoughtcast, but if I did that, I would be dead by one of his, like, if he top decked another Bolt or Galvanic. So I decided to be slow, decided that it doesn't matter if I skip my land drop, and I just play a Toxin. So if he has a Bolt, he has to use it, and I can counter it. Now I'm at 4 life. I'm out of the range of all his Bolt because Galvanic has not Metalcraft active yet. So I'm in a great spot. I still would like to draw a land, but I I clearly cannot do it. So now I draw with Bargain because he cannot kill me in response, and by going to 5 life, I still cannot die by his balls. I finally find the land, and here like I've I've basically won this game. Like I don't think I can lose. He still drew another bolt. Here, the only important thing is that I remain open with Hydroblast. The rest doesn't really matter. I want to hit my land drop and I fail again. I go to discard, it doesn't really matter. I discard a blue card because I want to remain open with my blue mana. Here he drew another Galvanic Blast, but I have my blue blast. Next turn, I can finally play a Myr and still be open with Blue Elemental Blast. Mana Cleansing Wildfire, which I was really surprised about. So yeah, I played the Cleansing, I assume because he wanted to destroy my untapped land, but I don't know, I think it's so bad in rally, especially in this matchup. So yeah, they he did nothing. Um, Here, I think it's fine to counter the Percussionist simply because he doesn't have any more cards in hand, and next turn I'm gonna gain 6 life probably because I'm gonna use the Toxin, and then I have the Bargain up. So I can afford to use the Blast like that. So Myr, Utrom, and that's it. He cannot heal me, and I've basically set little for the next turn. Oh yeah, I have set little next turn. No, yeah, well, I'm 1 damage off. Yeah. He decides to attack. I I just take. Like I don't care. Next turn I'm gonna heal for 7 thanks to the bargain. I don't want him to flip uh, more like scarier cards, so I just take it. And then I also draw Fangs, which gives me perfect lethal, but it would like it doesn't matter. Like I would have won like either way thanks to the bargain. Okay, so new game. I decide to keep this hand, which is not great because we're missing black, which is the best color, but we have Krark-Clan Toxin, so if I'm against a green deck, just drawing the black source would probably mean winning. So I think it's fine to try and keep it. The opponent plays an island, so now I'm not happy about the keep because of course like, I don't have the black. Toxin doesn't do much, and I have also Torch the Tower in hand that does even less. So not great. I draw Surveillance Cam, which does nothing. So yeah, I'm not feeling that good now. Yeah, decided to play the cam just to have one more artifact. I decided to play it now so it stays out of range of Spell Pierce. Because by playing my cam like that, next turn I can play an Utrom Monitor, even if I draw no lands or no other artifacts. So I decided to do that. And I mean, thankfully, at least Karkan resolved, so at least I can, in like a desperate case, like sack everything and kill a couple terror. Now, I drew the Black Source, which is probably like one of the best draw of the deck. So now I can play my Utrom, and I have Black up next turn for Familiar or Toxin. So now we are feeling much better. He plays a Cryptic Serpent, which is totally fine. We draw Myr, which is pretty great. Now, first Familiar, let's see what he discards. Okay. I'm gonna keep the Toxin at least for another terror. So I prefer now to play the Familiar. Also gonna play the Myr. Next turn, if he doesn't play any terror, I could go Karkan for 2, like Torch the Tower for 3, and if it resolves, Karkan for 2, for example. Or Karkan for 2 damage, and while the Karkan is still on the place, sacrifice it for Torch and deal 3 damage to the Serpent, for example. But yeah, he doesn't have anything apparently, so I decided to proceed early. So yeah, he didn't have anything. So here I put on my gift card. I start with removing Toxin and Carrion because I'm used to it by playing Jan, but thinking about it, I have this deck has so many like worse cards against Terror, so of course I remove those. All the damage-based removal and Surveillance Cam. Here we have two mulligan, of course. This is not great, but we have to keep it. We just need the red mana to play or another land. So I think it's fine. It's not great though. It's pretty scary. A pyro, which we cannot cast. It goes Lorien to shuffle the brainstorm. I'm still not drawing great. Familiar, let's see if he has a Steel Sabotage, even though he could probably let this resolve because it will fuel his graveyard, so yeah, it lets it resolve, and this doesn't mean he doesn't have Steel Sabotage or Null, because it wasn't a great artifact, so he could still have it. He goes Brainstorm, he's gonna set up his graveyard, and we really need a land. We drew like 3 cards, we haven't seen a land, like we need a land. Now, he goes Mental Note, and he plays a terror. Only one, it's fine. Now, let's see if he doesn't have the Annul. It seems, now this time it seems it doesn't have it, because this would have been a better target. Let's cast a Thoughtcast, and let's see. Okay, perfect. It doesn't also have Spell Pierce. So, pretty great to know, but we still failed to hit our land drop. 11 cards, only 2 land. This is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. Now we need a land, or we have to screwed, and we do not see the land. So let's see how we want to play. I mean, he doesn't have null or sabotage. We understood that, so we play the familiar. So at least we can kill a terror and play a spellbomb. Now, what I'm thinking here, if I want to attack and not block, because if I keep all these artifacts alive, next turn I can play a mirror. While if I triple block, I cannot play this mirror. So yeah, here I'm thinking about it, but I think the safest play is triple block, um, and hope to find an Extrata Confession or a red land next turn. Okay, we draw a red land, so finally we can hit our land drop. We play Ichor, it resolves, so it still probably doesn't have Spell Pierce or Annul or Sabotage. So I can play my cards. Let's see here if this resolves. Now here I said I think he doesn't have Spell Pierce, or he would have Spell Pierced my Ichor next turn. But he does, so it was probably the top deck. So now I just wait for his upkeep to kill the serpent, and let's see if it resolves. He cannot have another spell pierce because he would have used it before. So yeah, he doesn't have interaction. So great. I have exiled his graveyard, so terror costs a lot of mana. Now let's see if he wants to counter this one. It does not. Okay, yeah, so he has nothing. Maybe he drew a blue elemental blast. It's the only one, but still. It is a serpent with 0 card in hand. I'll just counter it. So next turn, if I draw an untapped land, I can also play my Kenku. I do not, but I mean, I'm still gonna play my Kenku. And he concedes. And now, for the last game, I'll decide to mulligan. I'll I keep this hand, even though it's not that great, but it can become something. So another Urza's land. So this this was the fifth Tron that I faced in 2 weeks. So pretty crazy. Um, so like we still keep drawing land, so we just like tap and go. Let's hope he doesn't complete Tron early. And let's see. Okay, at least it's not this turn. It's probably gonna be next turn. Now here I could play Kenku or Utrom. I decided to play Utrom and Tapland because I would probably need the Kenku's mana, like the mana from the land that becomes a creature. So I'll just play it later as a 3/3 with haste. So I'll play Utrom first. Next turn I can play double Myr. which is pretty great, especially if he doesn't complete Tron. He plays a Cryogen Relic, so it's not Muspeltron. In my mind, it was some sort of Flickertron, but I will like know that it is Pingerstron. So yeah, it is Manuel Machi's football Pingerstron. Now with this board, he's in a bad spot, of course, because we have basically we have little next turn, also thanks to Kenku that creates a 3-3 with haste. They also have the ugliest Tronland because like they have mismatched Tronland pretty bad, yeah. So they deserve to lose even more. They play Eviscerator inside, draw a lot of cards, and a boulder. Now this turn I just Kenku, attack, and that's it. Now here I thought it was I don't know why I still thought it was like some Flickertron. So I sided like it was Flicker and not Pingers. That's why I removed Munition and I removed Krark-Clan Shaman. Um, of course, if you know it is Pingers, like you do not remove Krark-Clan Shaman. Oh yeah, actually, I still was able to keep Munition. You do not remove all the Krark-Clan Shaman, you keep them, and you also put double extrata confession for their worm. So I didn't side. Yeah, exactly. I removed all Karkan, and at least I've kept. I put one extract, but it should have been two extract and at least three Karkan in. So yeah. Now this is a pretty good end without the red, but yeah, we just need to draw the red. Here I was thinking if it mattered if I went Vault, Fountain, or now the bridge. But yeah, I decided to go bridge first because next turn I want to go for Utrom. Now here Fountain, Utrom that are more damage. Okay, now here I understand that it's Pingerstrom, so I have to change my plan. Here I want to hit Island Drop, which is pretty likely, but I fail, so I can only play one Familiars, and I still haven't found the red. So here, if you can close Tron next turn, uh, like if you can have Tron next turn, yeah, if it does, we are not in a great spot anymore because like we are missing so many land drops and we don't have the red, of course. Now we still cannot draw any more lands, so I decide to try it, and we do, but still no red lands. Now that I have put the bargain in the graveyard, next turn I can extract a confession with collect evidence, so I can remove the worm and attack for a lot of damage. Here I draw an icon, But like I said, here I want to start pushing damage, so I just remove the worm, which is pretty great form of removal because you cannot flicker to protect it. So yeah, I kill the worm, deal out of damage. He plays a cast down of my Utrom, so yeah, he also plays a removal, apparently. So yeah, he doesn't appear to have much. I still cannot find my lands, of course. Let's see, maybe a fog, I would expect. Yeah. Oh, okay, no fog, just Bramble Boom from the Graveyard, which is totally fine. Now here, I'm still missing my land. I decided to go Ichor because, like, if Ichor, it's pretty probable that there is a red on top, but there isn't, so I'm still missing it. At least next turn I can bargain on top of Ichor to draw a lot of cards and uh, hopefully it a land. And I draw a Utrom, which is okay. Let's attack first, see what he does. And we still are missing not only our red mana, but also our land drop. So yeah, pretty crazy game. We are still putting pressure, which is pretty good. The opponent is stuck, like he's not doing anything, so he's giving us time. But I would still like my lands. We still have yet to find our land drop. Now I just use bargain on the fountain to draw as many cards as possible. We finally find our red mana, so we can either Pyroblast or Galvanic Blast. Let's see how it blocks, because now we could win on the spot, depending how it decides to block. Like, okay, so it blocks everything, but we are still little. Here he plays a Flicker, which does absolutely nothing. He's still dead. And bang. So I, I really like this deck. I think it's really fun. Like always, Affinity is always fun. I'm not sure about the Torch the Tower. I don't know. I think I would rather have another Spellbomb or maybe Cast Down. But I really liked Kenku. I love this card, and I think the deck was pretty great. Uh, like I said, I hate the one mountain, basic mountain, so I I would change it if I played it again. And that's it. I mean, if you ever reached this far in the video, tell me in the comments if I made some mistake, if I should have made other plays. So at least I can learn from me rewatching all my gameplay. And bye bye.